Hey guys, what's up? In this video, we're not going to cover builds, counter picks, or complicated hero mechanics. We're diving into something most players overlook: the words you type in ranked chat. Sounds simple? It's not, because sometimes the way you communicate in a game does more than any perfect rotation or clutch play. It can literally decide the outcome of your match, and not because of strategy, but because of psychology. We've all been there, probably more times than we'd like to admit. You log in, you hit that start button hoping for a smooth climb. Maybe you just want a clean match to practice your role. Maybe you're one win away from promotion. Or maybe you're just trying to escape a nasty losing streak. But instead of the dream team, you get a roamer who refuses to roam, a jungler who flames the moment they die once, or worse, a teammate who literally AFKs after 2 minutes because of one invade gone wrong. And in that moment, when the tension is high, when you're already frustrated from the last loss, when all your efforts feel like they're being wasted on people who aren't even trying, it's so easy to type something negative in chat, to blame someone else, to call out mistakes, to say something like, "You're useless," or "Why are you feeding?" or "This team is garbage," thinking maybe that will wake them up. But the truth is, that never works the way we think it will. Because what really happens almost every time is that the moment one player turns toxic, the whole team begins to crumble from the inside. Not because they're unskilled, not because they're underleveled, but because the energy shifted, the trust broke, and instead of focusing on the actual game, everyone is now focused on who's at fault. And that's the thing about negativity in ranked. It spreads faster than any gank, it does more damage than any assassin, and it's one of the biggest reasons why good players get stuck, why potential victories turn into tilts, and why even seasoned players burn out. Not because the game is bad, but because the environment becomes mentally draining. Now let's flip that entire mindset for a moment, because here's where the real secret comes in. Positive reinforcement, which might sound like a soft or small thing at first glance, is actually one of the strongest tools you have, not just as a teammate, but as a leader in solo queue. And no, you don't have to be the shot caller or the carry to use it. You just have to be someone who pays attention, who notices effort, and who is willing to speak up not only when things go wrong, but when things go right, even a little bit. Because positive reinforcement at its core means this: when someone does something helpful, something smart, something supportive, even if it's small, like following a ping or helping with turtle, and you take a second to recognize it, to say, "Nice job, good rotation," or even just a simple, "Thanks for the assist," you're rewarding that action with words. And words are powerful. It may not seem like much, especially when the game is intense and you're focused on objectives, but that moment of encouragement can stick with someone, can give them a burst of motivation, can remind them that they're not just clicking buttons, they're part of a team that sees their effort, and that feeling can be the thing that keeps them going when they would have tilted otherwise. And what's crazy is that people who feel supported, even by strangers in a 15-minute ranked match, often start playing smarter, more carefully, more in sync, not because they suddenly got better mechanically, but because they feel like they matter in the match, and that emotional investment drives them to try harder. Let's go a little deeper, because this isn't just emotional or psychological talk. This is actually rooted in basic human behavior, and it applies whether you're in Mythic, Epic, or even just starting in Grandmaster. The truth is, every single player, no matter their skill level, wants to feel respected, appreciated, and valued when they're trying their best, even if that best isn't perfect. The brain responds to positivity with dopamine, a small reward chemical, and that dopamine reinforces the behavior that triggered it. So if your tank peels well and you say "great save," their brain literally gets a micro reward for that action, and guess what? They're more likely to repeat it, not because they're trying to impress you, but because the brain is associating that good play with a positive outcome, and that loop is what keeps people engaged. The same thing works in reverse. If someone makes a mistake and you immediately lash out, call them names, or rage in chat, they become defensive, embarrassed, or angry, and their focus shifts from improving to protecting themselves, which means they stop playing to win and start playing not to get blamed, which leads to passive decisions, slower reaction times, and worse overall team coordination. So when you're the one bringing positive energy, especially in a toxic lobby, you're not just being a nice guy, you're literally tilting the mental balance of the match in your favor, creating a space where people can actually focus on gameplay instead of drama. And believe it or not, that mental space is often what separates a close win from a painful loss. Now maybe you're wondering, how do I even start doing this? I'm not the talking type, or won't people just ignore me? But trust me, it's not about being loud or over the top. It's about being real, being calm, and being consistent. Start small, one kind message per match, one good job when someone rotates, one no problem when someone dies, one we still got this when things go wrong. Even just not being toxic when you could be is already a step toward positivity. And the crazy thing is, once you start doing this regularly, you'll notice something change. Not just in your team's behavior, but in your own mindset. You'll tilt less. You'll stop blaming as much. You'll bounce back faster from mistakes. You'll enjoy games more, even the ones you lose, because you'll feel in control of your own energy, your own effort, and that's way more powerful than any win streak. And here's one last thing that's even more important. Positive reinforcement isn't just for your team, it's for you too. Yeah, you, the one watching this. Grinding day after day, learning roles, watching tutorials, improving. You need to recognize your own growth. Don't beat yourself up for every mistake. Don't call yourself trash when you lose. Don't let one bad game define your progress. Instead say, I made a smart call there, or I kept my cool even though we lost, or I handled that gank better than last time. These small acknowledgments rewire your brain to notice improvement, not just results. And that mindset will carry you so much further than mechanics alone. Because the truth is, this game isn't just about MMR. It's about mindset, resilience, and leadership. Even if you're just leading your own thoughts. So yeah, Mobile Legends is tough, solo queue is chaotic, but even in the middle of all that, you can be the one who brings light into the darkness. You can be the calm in the chaos. Because in the end, the players who rise aren't always the ones with the perfect win rates. They're the ones who make others better. They're the ones who lift, not drag. And if you can be that person for your team and for yourself, you're not just winning games, you're building character. Thanks for watching, my friend. Stay kind, stay grounded, and remember, you're always just one kind word away from changing the outcome of a match. I'll see you in the next one.